Hey, it's Cameron. I'm here to tell you some embarrassing stories about my life. Not all of them, because, life is full of embarrassing moments. But I haven't made a YouTube video in a while, so here I am. I hope you can have a laugh at least one of these very embarrassing moments. Okay, also a side note, when I get excited, I'm going to try and talk loud, and I have tonsillitis, and I sound like I have like a marble in my throat. So just please ignore that and bear with me and just take it as maybe this is one of my embarrassing moments for the future. I was making a YouTube video while I was dying, and I looked like crap, and I sounded like I swallowed a golf ball. Alright, so let's start out with the time that I was at my friend's house. Okay, so I used to play tennis in on a tennis court in my friend's neighborhood. So afterwards, like, my mom would work later, then tennis got out, so I would go to her house. And one time she was like trying to teach me how to skateboard, which was totally a failed attempt, by the way, because I can only longboard because, like, when I put my foot back, I like swing it far. Anyways, and so she was trying to teach me, and I was like up on the slant of someone else's driveway waiting for her to come back, so it was my turn. And I had to pee so bad, and I looked down, and I was standing in a puddle of pee. Oh my, I didn't know what to do. So she like came up and she was like, are you all right? Did you just pee? And I was like, oh no, it's just sweat. So I booked it to her house to go finish or fuck whatever. Oh my gosh, that was honestly probably one of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life. Number two, okay, I had a boyfriend all of kindergarten, right? And we kissed every day in the little like tunnel on our playground, and we had like one of my friends and then one of his friends on either side so the teacher couldn't see, which I later found out that the teacher could still see because there was like two holes on each side so they could like see through the holes, because my mom was like, I knew about that, right? And I was like, what? So anyways, and so one day, like during the last month of kindergarten, my boyfriend at the time walks up while I'm like building a house with those big like major Lego blocks, and I'm like making a wall, and I'm sitting behind it, and he comes up like with his squad because we had groups in the class like to do our activities with, and his whole group walks up, and he's like, I don't want to date you anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, and she was like towering over me, and I just started crying. I was like, my boyfriend doesn't love me anymore, and I was like 6, okay? And I was just, the rest of the year, I was just so sad. Number 3, I used to have this neighbor who actually graduated last year at my new school. His name is Jacob Hudak, and he used to be my neighbor when I was like 4 to when I was about 6. And so we used to ride bikes together all the time, and I still had training wheels, and he actually moved the day after I got my training wheels off, so I never got to show him how awesome I was with just 2 wheels, which like was devastating. But I used to love this kid, like absolutely, like I was obsessed with him, and so I used to like wear cute shirts and like cute flowy skirts, but we were riding bikes. So one day the skirt got caught in a chain, and he had to help me carry my bike while my underwear were like out into my house so that my mom could cut the skirt out. He had to help me carry my bike and myself. And I liked this kid, and I was like, I think I was like 5 and a half at that point, okay? I had a lot of love when I was younger, okay? I've always been obsessed with boys. Now I'm calming down, but you know what? That was devastating, okay? Because I really liked that kid, and he saw me in my underwear. And when you're like 5, you have Hello Kitty underwear. So that shit was embarrassing, but whatever. Number 4, I do not run. I run now, like around my neighborhood, and maybe in dance when Moat makes us do it. But I do not run like suicides and stuff. Like, I hate that because I can't tag the ground without falling on my face, okay? So one time in 6th grade, I was new to the school. It was my first year at Teague and from Apopka, and we were running suicides, and I was like about to tag the next girl, and you know that shit's like a relay race. So I was like, yeah, and I went to touch her, and I just like fell on my face, okay? And she just shot by me because she got the vibes that I was trying to tag her, that I'm just a failure though, okay? I just fell on my face, and I laid there for like 5 minutes because I do not have time for that embarrassment and all the people staring at me, because that makes me so nervous. All right, so this one's a little bit recently, and it was like last year-ish. Okay, so if you know me in person or even on my Snapchat stories, you know that I love to, one, lip sing, and two, if I'm comfortable with you, I will sing loud as hell, especially in the car. If you're blaring music, I will be screaming the lyrics. All right, so I was with currently my ex-boyfriend, but we were dating, and I was in the back seat with him, and his mom and brother were in the front seat. And you know, I'm in the back singing the song, and it was probably like 2 months into us dating, so I was like kind of comfortable with the family. And I think it was like Chandelier, something with a high note. So like I was singing it, and all of a sudden his little brother just clicks the radio off, and I screamed the high note, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what? And his mom and brother started crying, laughing. And I know he was holding it in, but I know he wanted to scream laughing because it was hilarious. But I was so embarrassed because I cannot sing. I can barely talk. I talk like so monotone. Like my singing is just terrible. Okay, so by the time that this embarrassing moment happened, I had already started the list for this video, like 3 weeks ago, alright? And so I was in the Canadian airport on the way home from Italy, and let me tell you, when I was in Italy, it was like 2 straight weeks that I could not have any coherent thoughts or conversations because they all only knew basic English. So I could only be like, yes, I like this food. Yes, how was your day? I couldn't be like, so do you ever think how big the universe is? So, you know, when I was on the way home, I was like, now I have to be a coherent human. And so after 2 weeks, it was kind of hard. So I was sitting in the Canadian airport waiting for my flight from Canada to Florida, and I just started talking to myself. Like I was sitting on the floor with my phone on the charger, and I can't play on my phone when it's charging, because it charges like 1% every 7 minutes. So I was just like sitting there like watching people go by, and I was just like, you should really get a new phone. And I was talking out loud, like not even whispering. I was like talking like I was having a conversation with someone. And I was like, oh yeah, I should get a new phone. Like that'd be a really good idea. Whoa, look at that dude's backpack. And the people started looking at me that I was like talking about. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually talking to myself, and this is bad. And I don't remember what I was saying, but I was so loopy because I had already been flying. I flew from Sardinia to Venice to Canada, and then I was about to get on another flight. That was 3 flights in one day. And on the way there, I only had to do 2 and then 1 a few days later. So, you know, I was going crazy, and these people were staring at me, and I was like, you know what? I'm never going to see you people again. You probably don't even speak English, because Lord knows Italians speak Italian, Canadians speak French, and Americans speak English, okay? You know what? Yes, some Americans do speak other languages, but the fact that I got here and someone asked me a question in the airport in English, I was crying. I was like, yes, baggage claim is that way. I'll go with you. I have to go get mine too. I was so happy. Okay, so this is the last one that I'm currently aware of, because Lord knows that I'll probably have 10 more embarrassing moments today. Again, I was in the Canadian airport, sitting in the middle of the hallway that people were just like rushing through, and I was the only one sitting on the floor. I was sitting there with my phone plugged in, and this hella cute Hispanic guy walks up. He's probably like 20. He walks up and he goes, can I plug my phone in next year? Is like, will that bother you? And I thought he was saying like, does this work? Sandy. Alright, sorry, I had to get my dogs to stop barking. And so I thought that he said like, is it working? Can I plug it in here? Like, and I was like, yeah, like, yeah, it's working. And he was like, you do mind? Because he had said, do you mind? And I was like, wait, what? Because I looked at him and we like locked eyes, and I was like, wait, what? And he's like, I said, do you mind? And I was like, oh, no. And he's like, all right. So he plugged it in. He plugged his phone in and walked away. I was like, he needs his phone charged that much that he left it with this strange person sitting in a corner. Are you kidding me? Shut up. Thank you. And then he walked away. So, I mean, you know what? My dogs are assholes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all of the embarrassing moments I chose to share because some of them are honestly too embarrassing to share and too, like, personal and almost too soon to talk about because some of them are really recent and I'm not comfortable talking about them yet. But maybe in, like, a year, I will be content with my, like, stupidness that I can share it with the 2 subscribers I have. No, just kidding. I think I have like 11. I've had this account since I was like in 7th grade or 6th grade, and those videos are very embarrassing. So go watch those and share them with your friends. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.